This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Asman bin Likin, and I am here today with ASS News on 6/9. We are here today with Youth Pastor Sadiq Majid. Mr. Sadiq Majid, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, everything's tamam and you're feeling good today. Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So today you're unique coming to us today. You're a youth cleric, and you're on social media on this one app. Tell us about it a little bit.
So, sir, it is what happened is, all these youth people, these young people, they go on this TikTok and they see butt, ass, clit, pussy, and tits and dick. It's in the name.
Oh, dick. What's this app?
TikTok.
TikTok. Oh, TikTok.
TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok. So, sir, I go on this app. There it is. These young people, they are doing these things. This is haram.
Yes.
It is so haram. It is so haram that I have to take matters into my own hands.
MashaAllah.
And so what I do is, sir, I go on there and I show them, these young people, there is one way to use TikTok, and that is in the way of Allah.
MashaAllah. Of course, everything in the way of Allah will make it more clear and more humble for everybody watching.
Inshallah.
MashaAllah. So tell me, what brought you into this? Why TikTok? Why?
So, sir, it is the most used app by anyone.
Right.
And it is literally pornography. It is too haram. Too haram.
How do you spell the app?
It is TIK TOK.
TIK. And inshallah. Okay.
You want to download?
No. Astaghfirullah. No, astaghfirullah.
Sir,
no, Sadiq.
I am on
I
it.
don't.
Sir, I am on it.
Sadiq. Only to watch your content, Sadiq.
Inshallah,
only to watch
inshallah,
your
inshallah. You follow me. I follow you.
Of course. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. I will follow you. Inshallah. So, what are some of these things that you've taken viral?
So, sir, you know how there are these songs like that? You know that?
No.
Wet ass pussy.
Oh, astaghfirullah.
MashaAllah, make dua. So, sir, what happens instead of wet ass pussy, you do wudu. You make wudu.
Yes.
And then prostration.
Oh, wudu and prostration. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
So,
this you make a little dance.
You make a little dance.
MashaAllah. And what else do you?
So, sir, we have the very old dance is whip and nene.
Yes.
It is of course very tame, but you do fard and sunnah.
MashaAllah. And sunnah. Well, we have some time.
Okay.
Why don't you show our viewers some of these TikTok and dance moves, inshallah. Ahmed, please, the camera, Ahmed.
Oh, sir.
Okay, sure. It's right here. Yes.
So, as I said, sir, you have wudu and prostration.
MashaAllah. So it's wudu and prostration. Wudu and prostration, like that, right?
Yes.
Oh, mashallah.
You got it.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
Very good.
What else do you have, inshallah?
And then also, sir, you have the whip. And then the nene, but it is fard. And then sunnah.
And sunnah. So it's fard and then sunnah. MashaAllah.
There's one more dance. It is a little more. It is a bit long. RIP that.
Yes.
That P word.
Yes.
The P word.
Yeah.
You do RIP that. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik yawm ad-din. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin.
Ameen. MashaAllah. Mr. Sadiq, thank you very much. I will be downloading the TikTok.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Sadiq.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And welcome, Habibis, to the episode 69.
Let's go.
You know what the Joint Chiefs told us the greatest threat facing America was? Global warming. a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it. I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized.
This region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour.
Fully live.
Fully live. Turn that camera down. This
shit.
is the start, our leader, the Sheikh.
The Sheikh.
Oh.
Here he is, right here.
There he is.
All three of us all together.
Look at that.
Finally.
Who would have thought?
Allah, not me.
Not me.
It was the prophecy in the Torah. It wasn't the coming of Muhammad that was in the prophecy of the Torah. It was the coming of all three.
All three of us. Come on her.
Don't come. Don't come.
Oh man. So this is our 69th episode. Jay, I'm really glad we finally got a chance to do this because we have planned this out for months. And we are literally the worst planners ever.
Completely. And for me to actually be here right now is a fucking miracle because I didn't think I was going to be able to get on the plane.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be allowed on the plane looking like that, but you know.
Well, luckily this was just in my backpack. So
yeah, I
didn't fly like this. I should have flown like this and just vlogged it.
Yeah.
And see what would have happened.
Why not?
Especially going into DC.
Yeah. So anyways, since we're here, before we get into talking about some of the news of this week, we have some of our favorite segments that we want to touch on because there are too many. But the very first one we got to touch on, and I think this is probably the best cold open that we've ever done. And it's largely because it might be the only time that I may have broken character.
I think that's the only time you did. I'm surprised you didn't break character right now when I
was very close to doing it, Jay. I shit you not. I was very close and I didn't. So, but yes, we had, if you remember correctly, when Harry and Meghan did an interview with Oprah.
Yes.
We did a cold open where, there was one part that really stuck out to me in which we can actually make something of it. And that was when Harry and Meghan had a secret wedding before the public wedding. And so what I decided to do is that we do a segment in which we had a second secret marriage to a Saudi princess, Khadija. So I play Khadija. I play Khadija, and you literally started off as the Ask News correspondent, and then you took your you changed outfits, and you literally came in as Harry. This is literally that segment, right? Real quick.
Heartbroken that he chose to ignore me completely, and really just tell us that he left the royal family because of Meghan and not because of me. And I think it's absolutely, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken.
Hello, Habibis. Hey, bro.
Harry,
Khadija, the fuck you doing here?
Harry, I told you, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
You were supposed to be the submissive one, not the independent woman out here doing whatever you wanted.
Harry.
You promised me when we first met at least between 8 to 9 inches, yet you only gave me 2. How am I supposed to have a child with that?
It's the other 6 inches are meant for Markel. Know this.
Harry,
how could you do this? You know she has my balls already. I can't have 2 dominant women.
Harry, just shut the fuck up. Milk my camels. That's all I ask.
How could you do this?
Harry, I'm done. I'm absolutely
But
finished.
you can't. Wait,
Go
Khadija.
Go fuck yourself, Harry.
This is too good.
Oh man, that was one. And then of course, because we had to get my favorite part about that is that as soon as you came in with the Allah Habibis, that like just stuck.
It killed you. And it stuck for a long time. We keep on doing it with the Habibis as well.
Right. Good boy. And then we're gonna only do the other segment, and this is just because it was hot during the last summer, and that was literally about VAP. We had to bring it back. And I did an entire reading in my Pakistani accent of VAP.
I like our new one.
Yeah, I knew it was good.
Yeah,
Frustration. You came up with that.
We should make a TikTok out of that
one. Anyways, here's that segment.
Whores in this house. There are some whores in this house. There are some whores in this house. There are some whores in this house. Hold up. I say certified freak, 7 days a week, wet ass pussy, make that bullet game weak.
Right here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, those are just a couple of our favorite segments. Jay, I do like how your entire background has updated since then, from being in
being in my living room
your
until
living room.
finally being able to have a better camera and also having
Yeah.
a better graphics card to be able to change my
to change your background.
And Habibis, if you notice that the stream is actually a lot better, it's because we're using my computer. We're not using Siraj's MacBook.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really been his internet that was the problem. The problem was that he was a white basic bitch owning a MacBook.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about being half Pakistani, is that you have the half white size in that side, and that makes you a basic bitch. So
that's exactly what happens.
Essentially 100% of the time.
Essentially.
Cheers. So, let's get into some of the news that happened this week. I don't know if I can really share tweets because I'm doing this. We're doing it from your computer, but we're just going to talk about some of the news that happened this past week.
Let's do it.
So one of the things, and maybe I could get this going. We'll see.
No, I think you'll be able to.
Maybe I can do it. Let's see here. So I have to point out here that what's her name? There we go. Oh, let's go. We got it. Let's get this background going first before I forget it. There we go. Oh, beautiful.
Awesome. It's working.
It's
doing it.
It's twerking. Oh God, what's happening there? So Rebecca Jones, our one of our favorite people in the entire world, she got banned from Twitter.
MashaAllah.
Well, Jay, we don't champion censorship here.
No, not at all. Especially because that had absolutely to do with her speech and nothing to do with her buying followers and trying to artificially promote her stories.
Well, I mean, there's obviously all of that, but Jay, there is some part of it where Rebecca Jones, should she have been banned by Twitter?
Yes.
I was just gonna say, for someone who's been banned by Twitter 13 times,
yes,
she is very bad at trying to get back on.
As an expert in this area, I can go ahead and say, because I've been banned 13 times, that yes, she deserves to be banned. I am the expert voice in this matter.
Jay, you actually are the expert on this, and her suspension is permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it a sign of hypocrisy amongst conservatives who champion free speech and hitting back against big tech?
No.
Why is that?
The reason why is because of the reason why she got banned. She didn't get banned because of the speech she was doing, or because she was trying to lie about what it was that she did, lie about DeSantis numbers and having to change the COVID numbers and all of that kind of stuff. It's not because of any of these other factors that would get any fucking conservative banned off of Twitter if they were doing the same thing against a Democrat, but it had to do with her creating and buying new followers and pushing her own content within herself. And the funny thing is, what's his name got banned as well for doing that.
With the Crusted Scene?
Project Veracruz.
Oh, Veracruz.
They said that he was banned because he
James
was artificially, promoting himself and stuff. And conservatives didn't push back much on it, and Democrats didn't say shit about it. They cheered on it. So you know what? For once, let's let the libs be consistent and cheer on the fact that this bitch got banned.
So just for those who are out of the loop, Rebecca Jones, who's the former Florida Department of Health data scientist, she was suspended on Monday for platform manipulation and spam. Now, what she did is that she continually shared an article by the Miami Herald. I wonder if I can actually pull that up. Let's see here. Is it just this, or maybe no? It's only on a particular tab because I'm a boomer still. But let's go ahead.
I get to witness this boomerness like in action right now.
I know, right?
It's an art, honestly.
It really is, and unfortunately for everyone, you all have to suffer. So this was the article that she was sharing continually by the Miami Herald. It says what Rebecca Jones saw behind the scenes at the Florida Department of Health. Now it's an attempt to try to fact check everything that happened. And I got to be honest with you, Rebecca Jones is insane. She's a pathological liar and someone who is trying to get the press on her side and has done a pretty good job of getting the press on her side. One particular person is your favorite person and mine, Chris Cuomo.
Chris Cuomo is such.
So he tweets, for those invested in right-wing fringe attacks on Rebecca Jones, here's a well-researched piece on what is and is not true. So what got Rebecca Jones suspended is she constantly replied to people with this tweet, this article, and Twitter flagged it as spam and ended up suspending her.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen.
So after that, you can't really say that she, after that, there might have been a case to make that, it was an innocent mistake. But what really was the nail in the coffin was that she tried to evade the Twitter ban and then just kept getting suspended again. She came up with 2 Twitter accounts. And both of them got banned within like minutes of
wow. That's fascinating.
So that's kind of,
after that happened, Prison Mitch did a very, very nice tweet thread on all 10 or 11 of my
13 accounts.
13 accounts.
Laughs Branson Taylor, laughs ass licking.
She's an amateur.
Yeah,
and as you can tell, she's not good at what she does. That's why she got fired.
Yeah, you can tell she really isn't good at what she does.
Rebecca Jones, please don't reach out because I don't give a fuck and I'm not going to help you.
And Rebecca Jones, if you do reach out, I will call the police, and that takes a lot considering how much I hate the police. But
absolutely, and it's really fascinating that the story that these people decide to share, instead of sharing the National Review story that was well researched by Charles Charles the Brit, who became American.
Charles Cook, yeah.
Charles Cook. See, I got one name right. Look at that. Look, 69th episode, and I got it right. That's not bad.
Because he has an E on the end of his name, you're going to say Cookie.
Oh, no.
Charles
Cookie. Well, that would be a pretty short too. That does sound diverse. So instead of sharing that article, he shares the Miami Herald that really wasn't as well researched, got her role wrong on what she actually was at the facility, and also failed to mention that she herself even confessed to not manipulating or being asked to manipulate data or to erase data.
Right.
She actually came out on saying that as well.
Yeah, the entire story is that she actually wasn't asked to manipulate data at all. That was an exaggerated claim. What the Florida Department of Health did was they asked her to hold off on publishing these particular statistics so that they could go back and double check and make sure that they were accurate.
Exactly.
And then she came out and said, these people asked me to manipulate data. That's not at all what happened.
No, and you also have
that takes a lot. It really does take a lot for me to try to believe the government or a government entity over a whistleblower. But that is a very benign thing to then make a claim as exaggerated as. they asked me to manipulate data. Well, show us the fucking evidence.
And surprisingly, she can't show shit.
Yeah.
And also they have a high level Democrat within the same organization coming out and saying that what she is saying is completely false. None of it is true, and she's a complete conspiracy nut.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck is Chris Cuomo still like pushing her as like a legitimate person?
He is someone who always simps for liars.
That is
Like
very
his
true.
I mean,
he does suck his dick.
It's only a matter of time before he sucks Rebecca Jones's dick.
Mashallah. And on Pride Month, so it all works.
And also she's probably packing more than you and me combined, Jay.
That I can believe.
Yeah. So
I mean, we did search each other last night, and trust me, it took a long time, and we still didn't find anything.
There's a lot of bush.
Yeah, that's all there was.
So, anyways, so this week has been somewhat of a disaster for Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States. This was her first week in which she went on a foreign trip. She went down to Guatemala, and she had some words of advice, not for just migrants, but also for men who simply have low stamina.
Yeah. And I want to emphasize that the goal of our work is to help Guatemalans find hope at home. At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back. So let's discourage our friends, our neighbors, our family members from embarking on what is otherwise an extremely dangerous journey, where in large part the only people who benefit are coyotes.
So, Jay, as part of the Two Pump King Nation, this resonates with us because we are told by our women all the time, don't come. And we always disobey our women. Oh,
of course. I mean, we're Arabs. I mean, and Muslim women, their opinions don't matter.
Well, that and also because when literally we look at an ankle, boom,
we have to come.
Yeah, we just can't. We can't.
It doesn't work
ourselves.
So, like when we have a fully naked woman in front of us, you can understand.
Yeah, like literally,
it blows our minds.
It's like pushing rope.
Exactly right.
So, what are you gonna do?
And also, I fixed my chair. For some reason, it was making me like way too tall.
Yeah.
So I got it so now I'm really nice and comfortable now.
Yeah. One thing I'm worried about though is you are covering our king.
Oh, I apologize, King.
Wow. He's gonna have to shit. Jay, I worry about your safety.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Just that. So you have that issue with Kamala Harris, but as far as the saying "do not come, don't come," she tweeted during the Trump administration about how this place is basically open for business, or not open for business, but no immigrant or refugee should be turned away. And then she comes out.
It was in 2017.
Yeah, stunning and brave, right, Jen?
Oh, absolutely. And it was the story of the continuous story of these fucking virtual singling pieces of garbage. They will say things that sound nice, that sound like good policy, that sound morally righteous and all that kind of stuff, and then completely shit on it. And you don't hear a word, not a word from that dick-faced Dale. He will go back to a tweet that Donald Trump tweeted in 2014, be like, oh, look, he lied. Yeah. And it's silence, absolute silence on all of this type of shit.
Yeah.
These guys are garbage. The media will not do their due diligence on it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's pretty stunning. And you're not going to get many people within the media who call her out on this bullshit.
No.
Nor call President Biden out on this bullshit.
Future President Kamala
Harris. And, we've talked about this at length, if not on the show, at least, offline, about how the border issue in particular makes Kamala Harris distinctly unsavory to many Democrats, particularly those who are working in the administration, that she has any competence that she can govern properly, considering that May had the highest number of migrants entering the country in 2 decades. What was the number? Like
over
180,000.
180,000.
Like, so that doesn't instill any confidence that she has her shit together. And I actually think, and I think some of the other Habibis have said this as well. I think Ram is one of them. They basically that it wouldn't be surprising if Joe Biden assigned Kamala Harris the border crisis issue simply to make sure that she does not run for president in 2024, because I'm pretty sure he's going to run for re-election.
Well, he's dying in 3 months, so I don't understand how that. But it's a very good assessment, especially because politics is just filled with backstabbing and all that kind of stuff. So it does sound par for DC, for sure. But instead of embracing it and stuff, she's totally made herself look like garbage, like literal trash.
Yeah.
She's been practicing over and over and over again with teams, and the most she came up with is like, what did she say? I've been to the border. I've been to the border.
Yeah,
I've been to the border.
Let's play that clip right now. She was
you're paying these people.
Vice President Harris did an interview with an actually friendly network with NBC News with what's his name? Lester Holt.
Guy with glasses.
That's all.
I wasn't going to say black guy. I was going to say black guy with glasses, but
well, yeah. I mean,
we're past. We're in Pride Month now. We passed Black History Month, so we
that's true. And also, we don't.
Blackness doesn't matter.
Also, yeah. Well, no. I was just going to say, well, yeah, because obviously the corporate structure is like, oh, you're gay, we love you. Oh, Black History Month? That was 4 months ago. Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, is he gay?
He has a son, so this wasn't at one point.
Right, you can't be gay.
In any event, this is how the interview went.
Just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well,
I just, Jay, she is so bad at this. Very. I've been to the border. 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 Jay, have I told you I've been to the border?
Where were you?
To the border. So one thing I
haven't been to Europe.
I gotta say, for someone, has she really never been to Europe?
She meant now as in her capacity as vice president that she hasn't been to Europe yet.
I was just gonna say,
come on, get with it, man. And what's really funny about it is that you have people like Aaron Rupar trying to defend her and pretend like she was some high-class A-star fucking amazing senator from California that really just won all her races and blah, blah, blah. And then she just became vice president. It's like, it's not a good, this is not a good comparison to make, especially because how California is such a one state party.
She said he literally tweeted she won every race that she ever ran in. Not even talking about how she dropped out of the Democratic primary before the calendar year turned into 2020. She dropped out December 2019 because she was that loathed and hated within the Democratic Party. Like, it is amazing that she is even part of this administration right now.
It really is.
Because there's no chance in hell she's ever going to get elected unless she smothers Joe Biden with a pen.
It could happen. Like, that's the only way that she's going to become president is when he dies. Not if, when, because it's only a matter of 3 months.
Yeah. So, there's definitely a lot at play in terms of how, her political future looks. But I will say this, and this is actually a very, very odd thing that happened during her trip in this interaction with the Univision reporter.
Thank you. Our next question will come from Maria Fernanda at Univision.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. For me, it's an honor because I actually got to vote for the first time as a nationalized citizen, and I voted for you. So my question is, what would you say to these women, those mothers, and also women of color on both sides of the border?
Bro, what?
Well,
What?
props to her for being like one of the most honest reporters there to actually come out and say that she voted for her. But if this doesn't have her lose her job and be and stop being a press corps reporter, I don't know what the fuck these people have to do in order to get off of it. Like, do they have to bend over and suck like Harris's dick in order for us to understand that they're biased, complete garbage, biased shit stains that are not here to give you the truth, that are here to actually help this administration spin fucking stories? It's ridiculous.
How is that reporter not an op?
It's absolutely
She's
100%. Essentially,
hey, we did it. Here's.
Like, I see shit like that, and then I'm thinking of Yamiche or Yamachi or what's Yamiche?
Yamiche,
right?
yeah.
And I'm thinking of Yamiche, and we look at these people and they ask the questions that they ask, and it's like, you want us to believe that you have no party affiliation, that you didn't vote for this administration and shit?
Bro.
Like, be honest with yourself and with us. We
And
know
they're
it.
also like just actively helping the members of the administration with like
Messaging.
It's not only just messaging, I mean, but like literally helping them with their answers. This is a New York Times reporter, Katie Rogers, in an interaction with Jen Yazaki this week.
Jen Yazaki.
Yazaki.
I just had another on the vice president visiting the border or not visiting the border. Republicans and conservatives are, going crazy on Twitter, sending pictures, sending video of her interview with Lester Holt, saying, I've not been to Europe either. Does the president think there is a scenario in which she should visit the border, and also the mounting criticism from conservatives? Would that ever factor into a decision to send her down there? I mean, don't they have a point that if she has this task in front of her, should she not see the end cause as well as the root cause of migration?
Well, first, as I said to Peter, at some point you may go to the border.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. We don't want to hear it. It doesn't even matter because everything you just said is bullshit.
Yes.
And you literally, it's like, that level, that talk about like how, Trump was colluding with the Russian government. Like, you literally have the Biden administration colluding with members of the press to craft a message to sell to the American public that the sky isn't falling.
Right.
And I'm not gonna like give you a doom and gloom vision of this world and that everything is going to shit, but like things still aren't great. And
Right.
they're trying to paint the picture that everything is going fucking swimmingly. I mean, we just had a tweet come out from President Biden this past week. I shit you not, trying to claim having the most job numbers or having the best job numbers in the first 4 months of the presidency compared to both President Trump and Ronald Reagan. The first 4 months, literally batshit insane type of shit.
And also it was a White House chief of staff. What's his name?
Ron Klain.
Ron Klain. For a fact, I don't like you. I swear to God, I want journalists to come over to me and say this is not true so I can slap them in the face and spit on their mothers. Because the thing is, this is true. This Ralph motherfucker sends them tweets and he gets tweets from them for reports and all this kind of stuff for him to like, for him to retweet. They're all in a fucking WhatsApp group together being like, I went and had this for lunch. Can you retweet this story? What do you want me to say, oh bastard? This is fucking true. And for them to come out and pretend like the press corps, like fucking journalists in DC do not have this type of access in order to help messaging, then everyone is stupid as shit. If you do not believe this, you're a Maddow watching fucking Stelter dumb fuck, you need to understand that this is what's happening with news in DC. These are propagandists, and they use these people like pawns, like fucking garbage that they go and just they'll throw them away the second they become useless. But they don't care because this can help them become a communication whatever in the administration and shit like that. That's why they bend over backwards for this shit.
How many members of the press actually went and jumped to the Biden administration? But also think about members of the press who went from Fox News over to Trump. Like, it is an incestuous, revolving door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. You had Morgan Ortagus. You had Heather Nauer. You had blanking right now. Those are the two main ones. You also had Kayleigh McEnany. People who actually were in the media go over to the Trump administration. Right now, with the Biden administration, you had Jen Psaki was on CNN.
Yep.
You had what's her name? Nina Jean. I'm blanking on her last name. I apologize, but I think she's like a deputy press secretary. Just like it, but like on that level, where like it really doesn't matter at that juncture whether they actually were. Like at that point, you can never cross back into the ether of journalism again.
But they do. Like you have
There's some people who
you
do,
have
obviously.
it like the Jim Strinucci, whatever the fuck in CNN.
Jim Scudo.
And then also
Jim
you have
Scudo.
Jim suck this dick. And then you have fucking George Stephanopoulos as well, who's now a main guy in ABC. And these things happen just totally normally in the fucking industry.
Actually, but it also goes way back. I mean, if you remember, I will say this: there's some who like go into straight news reporting. There's some who are like commentators. You have like Pat Buchanan, who was like in the Nixon and Reagan White House, and I actually think he was in the Ford White House too. He went and became a political commentator. He was on what's it called, the McLaughlin Group, which I've been on and I hosted on, and you know for a fact where he's coming from, but at the same time, there are appropriate ways of doing it in which you go from the media back into the administration to government and government back into media. And there are some really dishonest, bad faith actors who are trying to paint the picture to you that they are somehow honest, objective journalists when there's something not. Jim Scudo is probably the best example because he was in the Obama administration and then went into like somehow straight news reporting. You can't be a straight news reporter after you do that. You simply can't. And I know that Jen Psaki and actually, it's weird with Jen Psaki because she was in the Obama administration, then went to CNN, then went back, then went into the Biden administration.
Right.
So it's just a revolving door. But I want to get back to the tweet that I was talking about with President Biden. He says, in my first 4 months in office, more than 2 million jobs have been created. That's more than double the rate of my predecessor, more than 8 times the rate of President Reagan. Look at those numbers. Reopen the economy is not job creation, Mr. President.
You dumb fuck. And even like they're forcing everything to stay closed as much as possible, making sure that businesses can reopen at full capacity and all that kind of stuff. You're not creating jobs. You're righting a wrong that happened a fucking year ago or 2 years ago. That's what's happening right now. And the thing is, it's been too late for a lot of different things. That number should be so much higher because of all of the restaurants that close down, all of the small businesses that are never going to be open up again. There's probably an extra 3 million jobs that will never come back.
Yeah,
never. And the reason for that is because of the lockdowns and closing shit as hard as they did and not giving any kind of relief. And now the messaging on small businesses, especially restaurants, when it comes to PPP, is that they overspent it, that they need to raise their wages in order to get more workers and stuff. Like this administration, this messaging, and also the fucking lib agenda that they're trying to push is going to cause even more jobs to be lost.
At this point, it's not even liberal because liberalism itself has now become an oxymoron. Liberals used to be for people being liberated from the confines of restricted, overbearing, infringing government. Like that is not how liberals operate today. Liberals today operate in the sense of they try to control you, try to control every aspect of your life. They shut down the schools, they close your place of work, they close your place of worship. and they basically restrict your income to a bailout that isn't even enough to cover the rent. It's not enough to cover the groceries, not enough to cover any of the bills. And they make you subservient and demanding more because they're not going to be opening jack shit. And like the last year in particular has really, like, I'm not saying it's radicalized me, but it has really opened my eyes.
Mashallah, mashallah.
I wear a kufi saying this. It has really opened my eyes in terms of like what level of control some of these government entities are trying to pull off. And unfortunately, I've seen people on both sides of the aisle wanting to control every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And that is very unfortunate.
Right.
I mean, say what you want about like the abortion debate. Like, I think government should stay the fuck away from that.
Right.
And it's just come to a point where like things like obviously there are aspects about the actual debate and morality, but in terms of banning it outright, you're just making it more dangerous for people who are going to get it anyways to go get an abortion. So,
well, it's the same thing with gay marriage.
But I will say this: at the same time, you will have Democrats who be just like outright pro-abortion, just being like, "Kill that fucking baby!" Like it's just
and celebrate.
And you have like two different. It's just like two sick extremes in which I just.
Right.
I
mean, the way that they tried to push it was the messaging, and that's the thing about libs is that they like, and Democrats, they like to try to say things that sound nice, but then they lie. Just like Kamala Harris was lying about the immigration, they lied about abortion too. They're saying like safe, rare, and legal, and that was absolute horseshit in themselves as well because it's not rare and it's actually celebrated within the party. But there are certain things that you shouldn't, as government, be able to control, like for example, gay marriage and stuff like that as well. So there was
say that during Pride Month.
Astaghfirullah. And also we're Muslim.
So yeah, you have a number of things. What else we got on the docket? Oh, hey, Joe. Did I just call you J Joe?
J Joe.
J Joe. Jay, did you know that Hunter Biden's racist?
Yeah. We've known this for all along.
Who would have thought? On top of sleeping with underage girls, prostitutes, apparently he's also calling everybody in his phone book the N-word.
Wet ass pussy.
So he repeatedly called his white attorney the N-word in a pair of bizarre and occasionally lewd text conversations late in 2018 and early 2019, and according to newly unearthed messages. Now this has been reported by the Daily Mail. Jay, look, I'm not saying this is news of the public interest, but if this had been any member of the first family under the previous administration, you could bet your ass this would be a national scandal.
Oh, for sure. But what you need to do right now is actually read some of the text in your Indian accent.
Oh God. Okay. So, but I will censor myself. I'm not going to say it. Okay. So, the younger Biden, as Chicago-based corporate attorney George Masiras, how much money do I owe you? Before adding, because Ninja, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates. Masiras replied, that made me snarf my coffee. Biden said, in response, I just made that phrase up, by the way. I should have had your lineage. Masiras replied, apparently you do. That's what I'm saying, Ninja.
Ninja. And then they also have the text there too. And the funny thing about this is that I think I was seeing it from one of the other followers. I forget who it was, but Brian Stelter actually had a tweet or a segment saying, imagine seeing a text from one of the Trump kids saying the N-word. And now he's completely silent. Not one thing on CNN is about these texts.
Jay. He still has till Sunday when his reliable sources show airs to say something about it.
Oh, he's just going to go on. You know what he's going to say? I bet you he's going to be like, and Fox News came out with blah, blah, blah. And look how crazy they are talking about this story. That CNN will refuse to cover.
I actually haven't seen that much coverage on it. Did you know? Have you seen that much coverage on it? I feel like it's flown. It's gone down to the wayside, and that's kind of sad in of itself because you have literally the first son, the president of the United States who ingratiated himself with segregationists and co-sponsored and wrote the 1994 crime bill, in which Hillary Clinton got most of the shit for saying using the word super predators, and Biden just like kind of scraping by, just being like, oh, I was vice president of the first black president. That's why you should vote for me. And his son just like occasionally or casually drops the N-word, and they get no shit for it.
Right. Well, drops the N-word, colludes with China, fucking sniffs coke off of cracks. Like,
wait, hold on, what?
Sniffs cokes off of cracks.
What cracks?
Ass cracks.
Oh.
What did you think? What kind of cracks were you thinking?
Oh, I thought like the other
much to learn, Habibi. I want to show you.
Now that you're in town, we're going to Archibald's.
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to take your virgin gay incel ass and sniff coke off of it. But it's really funny that Biden is everything that the media wished Trump Jr. was and stuff, being a coke addict, sleeping with whores, fucking dropping the N-word, being like shady business deals, all of this type of stuff, but they're complete radio silence over it. They will not talk about Hunter Biden whatsoever, and they will demonize anybody that tries to talk about Hunter Biden. Hell, Twitter will even try to fucking block stories that come out.
Yeah, I mean, like how the New York Post has lost their Twitter access for like 2 weeks because of that whole laptop story, which ended up actually being true. But look, there is it's a legitimately sad thing what's happening to Hunter Biden. Like, I don't want anyone that I know to have that type of life trajectory. Like, I would never wish that on you. I never wish that on anyone, not even my worst enemy.
Well, yeah, what, being addicted to drugs and whores and colluding with the foreign government?
Well,
using your dad's name?
Specifically the being addicted to drugs and whores.
Right.
I mean, he obviously has a drug problem, and I have sympathy for the Biden family for them having to constantly deal with that. And I obviously have sympathy for his kids, for the people that have been in his life, because no one should have to go through that. And there are tons of Americans and people around the world that have obviously dealt with, serious drug addiction, or have had loved ones or know people who have gone through serious drug addiction. But there's a time and a place for people to accurately report on things and hold what I think would be to the standard that was set under the previous administration. Keep that shit going.
They won't.
And I know they won't. And that's this. I mean, and that's the doubly sad aspect of it, is that if Donald Trump Jr. had a coke problem, which I don't know if he does or doesn't, there have been rumors about him having a drug problem. It is obviously important that he would be treated with the same sensitivity that people handle Hunter Biden.
They wouldn't. And the thing is, you can I have somewhat sort of kind of sympathy for Hunter Biden for sure, but he doesn't have the amount of access to help compared to the average Joe who's addicted to drugs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And to be honest,
we're even wearing our Hunter Biden shirts, HB.
There you go.
Right here. This is solidarity for Hunter Biden.
Now you're going to have everybody return their fucking shirts. This is Habibi Bros. This is Habibi Bros. Habibis. And the thing is, who I blame for all of this stuff and who the media should blame for this shit is Biden himself. He's a shit father. Biden, you fucked up. You failed as a father. And Hunter Biden is proof.
I don't know if it's true. Look, I can't judge people based on their parenting skills. He had Beau Biden, who actually turned out to be an upstanding young man who turned into he was a veteran, turned into a politician. Of course, we don't know everyone has their thing. Everybody's flawed.
Tomorrow we're gonna have secret emails come out that show that Beau Biden likes to get pegged by Chinese hoes while he's giving out state secrets.
Oh God! if that ever happened, that like would be the ultimate backfire.
I know that would be so hilarious. I would clip this and
because
just
like
put it on there.
ever since Beau Biden died like 5 years ago or 5 or 6 years ago, we've only thought about like we've only said like positive things about Beau. And there's never been a time in which we've like being like, you know what, fuck Beau Biden. That's never been like something that's ever come to mind. So it's one of those things where like with Hunter, it's just, why do you have to be the way that you are? Why are you the way that you are? Can you just like fucking slow your roll for once?
Talk to a therapist, get some psychiatric help and stuff.
Like I understand there were text messages between him and his dad in the laptop story that showed the more, intimate side of the relationship between Joe and Hunter. And that was something that I looked at. Oh my God, Joe. Fucking and that was one of those things in which I was like, oh, like that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing, despite the fact that like Hunter has like disappointed his father in so many ways. Joe still has love for his son because he's a father and he loves his children. And most parents, they have unconditional love for their children, and Joe Biden seems to have that case. Just like a lot of other parents. That being said, get your shit together, Hunter. We're tired of it. We're tired of wearing these shirts and everybody thinking
nobody thinks it's Hunter Biden.
We're tired of people saying. We're tired of people being like, "Oh, are you Hunter Biden fans?"
God damn it! Now this is going to happen. This is not supposed to happen. Don't do this, Habibis. Don't.
Okay, I'm kidding. Speaking of racist, we have Senator Joe Manchin under fire for actually writing an op-ed in the Charleston Gazette Mail. That's MAIL, not MALE. This is not a what is it? This is not OnlyFans. Joe Manchin wrote an op-ed titled "Why I'm Voting Against the For the People Act." Now everybody thinks that's directly tied to Kamala Harris because one of her campaign slogans for the 2020 election, when she was running as in the Democratic primary, was Kamala Harris for the people. So everyone assumes that he is basically voting against Kamala Harris specifically.
Well, because he's racist,
right?
Well, but
he's from West Virginia. He has to be racist.
That's the funny thing about this whole thing as well, is that's how they do it. That's how people in the media do it. They'll misconstrue anything and everything they can in order to twist things to go and fit their narrative. So of course, Manchin isn't the only Democrat who's voted against this stupid bill. That's not a vote rights bill. It's a fucking power grab. And people saying it's a vote rights bill is fooling themselves, and they're fooling you as well. So it's insane that you had Manu. Is his name Manu?
Manu Raju,
who goes and gets chai halib for all the fucking Democrats he can find, while he goes and asks Republicans questions on end about some stupid shit. He has been harassing Manchin and harassing Sima for past 3 months?
Something like that.
3 months, almost nonstop.
Maybe 6.
Nonstop asking about the filibuster and asking about this stupid fucking bill. I mean, when you get the answer 30,069 times, nice. Then you have to fucking finally understand that that's what you're going to be writing about. He hasn't changed his fucking mind the 69 millionth time you fucking asked him, you dumb fucking useless piece of shit.
Nice.
Out of all of the shit that was happening, he didn't once ask any Dem if they agree with Ilhan Omar and our BDS supporters. They didn't ask him if they agree with AOS calling Israel an apartheid state.
Did you just call her AOS?
AOC. Her name is I didn't even give a fuck. These people are useless garbage. But the thing is that they have a media presence, and for having a media presence, he would go on and ask every fucking GOP member about any fucking tweet that Trump tweeted. But AOC and Ilhan Omar are free. Dems are free. So he's stuck on this because Schumer has told Manu what to go and ask these people to do and what to go and go. Or even Ralph probably mistakenly DM'd his dick, and then said, sorry, whatever, the White House chief. chief of staff.
Oh, Ron Klain.
Ralph. Ralph, Brian, Bryant, like you fucking white people names. But Ron Klain mistakenly would I mean not mistakenly, he would legitimately send him dick pics probably, and then ask him, can you go and bother Manchu for me, please? Because he's still not giving me the right answer. I mean,
which one's Manchu? Manu Raju?
No, not Manu.
Yeah,
but I said Manchu because I meant for Mansion.
Joe Manchu. So I'm just going to read a little excerpt from his piece, and I will just pull it up here just so that y'all can see exactly what I'm reading. Because why would I not do that? I want to bore the fuck out of all of you. So it says, the right to vote is fundamental to our American democracy, and protecting that right should not be about party or politics. Least of all, protecting this right, which is a value I share, should never be done in a partisan manner. During my time as West Virginia's Secretary of State, I was determined to protect this right and ensure our elections are fair, accessible, and secure, not to benefit my party, but all the people of West Virginia. For example, as Secretary of State, I took specific actions to establish early voting for the first time in West Virginia in order to provide expanded options for those who work or family schedule made it difficult for them to vote on Election Day. Throughout my tenure in politics, I have been guided by this simple philosophy. Our party labels can't prevent us from doing what is right. Unfortunately, we are now witnessing that the fundamental right to vote has itself become over-politicized. Today's debate about how to best protect our right to vote and to hold elections, however, is not about finding common ground, but seeking partisan advantage. Whether it is state laws that seek to needlessly restrict voting or politicians who ignore the need to secure our elections, partisan policymaking won't instill confidence in our democracy. It will destroy it. As such, congressional action on federal voting rights legislation must be the result of both Democrats and Republicans coming together to find a pathway forward, or we risk further dividing and destroying the republic we swore to protect and defend as elected officials. Democrats in Congress have proposed a sweeping election reform bill called the For the People Act. This is more than 800-page bill, has garnered zero Republican support. Why? Are the very Republican senators who voted to impeach Trump because of actions that led to an attack on our democracy unwilling to support actions to strengthen our democracy? Are these same senators, whom many in my party applauded for their courage, now threats to the very democracy we seek to protect? The truth, I would argue, is that voting and election reform that is done in a partisan manner will all but ensure partisan divisions continue to deepen. With that in mind, some Democrats have again proposed eliminating the Senate filibuster rule in order to pass the For the People Act with only Democratic support. They've attempted to demonize the filibuster and conveniently ignore how it has been critical to protecting the rights of Democrats in the past. Now, it continues to go. I'm not going to obviously read the whole thing, but what, you wanted me to read the whole thing?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say that, like, there is obviously some truth to that because, you know, we have systems in our institutions in place to protect the minority, and this is a conversation I've had with Andrew Heaton, who a big libertarian, but I would say he actually leans a little bit more to the left nowadays. But in a way that, like, you are supposed to convince people that your position is the right position, you have to come up with cogent arguments and persuasive arguments to get people on your side. At this juncture, both Republicans and Democrats have not come up with persuasive means of conveying their message to the other side to get them to vote for what they want. So
you mean calling them Jim Crow white supremacists doesn't have them vote for you? They don't have them come on your
Who
side?
would have thought it didn't work?
Whoa. Holy shit. I honestly thought, like, calling McConnell
Jay,
like a white supremacist.
I just have to say, look, you know, there is something to be said about making a persuasive argument about things that Democrats care about, whether it be for Medicare for all or whether it be for abolishing student debt. They haven't come up with those arguments. And even within their own party, they haven't even been able to persuade the majority members of their party, even the ones who are running the party, that these are good policies to enact. So what do they do? They create even more division within their party. So even if you abolish the Senate filibuster, you're not going to get things that are going to benefit a lot of people. You're going to get things that benefit only a small few, and it's going to be a lot of Democratic donors who are going to reap the rewards. You just have to remember that, like in the realm of politics, when you have the power, the only way that you're going to try to keep it is just to demonize the other side. And that's what's happening right now. Instead of saying that, Joe Manchin, it's unfortunate that he's not, voting with us. They're just calling. You have people like Jamel Hill saying that he's literally upholding white supremacy.
Well, not only Jamel Hill, you also have Congress members doing the same thing. You have Cory Bush and the other guy too, who looks like Cory Bush but without the dreadlocks. New York Congress.
Are you talking about Jamal Bowman?
Is it Jamal Bowman? I don't know.
He's part of the squad?
He's part of the squad.
Then Jamal Bowman.
That's who it is. So looks like Cory Bush, but without the dreadlocks.
That is insanely inappropriate. It's all canceled. Jesus, Jay. Fucking A.
At
God
the end of
damn
the day,
it, Jay.
It's not only journalists that are using the same language, it's also fucking Congress people that are using this demonizing language against people in their own fucking party. But even using the same thing against people in the opposition party is just as bad. I don't see it as any good, and it's going to continue to divide the country even more. But I'd rather I love the fact that the squad fights with the Democratic Party within the Democratic Party because it's totally amazing. I love it to bits. And then watching stupid fucking tanky dumb fucks defend them is hilarious.
So we filling up?
Yes.
Okay. Fill him up. So Cory Bush, I don't know what Jamal Bowman said. I only know what Cory Bush said because let's be honest, having Jay in town, productive but distracting. I will say that.
It's hard to work with a pinky up your ass.
That's true too. So Cory Bush tweeted, "Manchin and company be like defund the police costs us elections while actively sabotaging our Dem agenda. Our movement was at the heart of the organizing that won us the 2020 elections. Now conservative Dems block our progress. Join us in saving lives or get out of our way." That's basically what she said. Now, Jay, I can't, so long as Joe Manchin remains in the Senate, look, you're not going to get any other Democrat to the left of Joe Manchin from West Virginia. You're just not. It's either Joe Manchin voting with Democrats most of the time or Republican voting with Democrats basically none of the time.
And that's what's going to happen. And they don't understand it because they don't know how to play the game. They know how to just
he's not up for re-election. He's not up for re-election until 2024. So at that juncture, and also West Virginia, by the way, is primarily a red state.
It's like one of the reddest states.
Yeah, every presidential election, I think since what? Maybe since
Lincoln.
I don't even know. I have to go back far. I'm not like a history major on this sort.
I doubt they voted for Lincoln.
Probably right. In any event, you also have people basically saying that the Koch network is pressuring Joe Manchin and that they're actively trying to pressure him to uphold the filibuster and block voting rights legislation.
Oh, but this isn't anti-Semitic to say this, right?
Why is that?
Because it's funny whenever you bring up, aren't they? Are they not? Am I just pretending that somebody who owns media corporations are Jewish? Hold on one second.
Hold on. Let's see how.
Let's make sure I'm not making this jump like I thought Pink was.
Let's see how anti-Semitic you really are, Jay. In addition to just being plain racist.
Right. Well, let's find out. Here we go.
Doesn't look like they are Jew. It doesn't look like the Koch brothers are Jewish.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Anyways, continue.
So it just looks like right now people are going to call Manchin a dino. A Democrat name only, but whatever. It's people say we're double demonetized. Go sub to our channel so that we can get demonetized. We're not even monetized.
Yeah, yet. please go ahead and sub first.
Yeah,
and then let us get then get
demonetized.
Yes, please.
But also I will say this. So you have a problem of upholding white supremacy through upholding the filibuster, and this is what is even crazier. Now, there is a New York Times editorial board member by the name of Mara Gay. You remember her? We talked about her
Yes.
before, maybe a year ago, at least a year. Actually, you know what?
This
is actually before I think Habibi Power Hour started, because when we had when Michael Bloomberg was running for president, she got on Brian Williams' show and talked about how like every person, like if Michael Bloomberg spent the type of money he did on this campaign, he could give like every American $1 million, which is like mathematically impossible, because he spent like somewhere around like $500 million. Like that's
I think you have the
500
video.
Americans $1 million. It's not how math works.
It was a hilarious video watching, because the interviewer in MSNBC was like basically just shaking his head, agreeing with
that was Brian Williams.
It was fucking hilarious.
So, but she's back now. This is Mara Gay. She said on MSNBC's Morning Joe that when she took a trip to Long Island over the past weekend, she saw something that really disturbed her, and I'm just gonna play that clip for you in full, because as this has been stated before, they pushed back by saying that she was taken out of context. So in the interest of not taking anything she said out of context,
essentially,
that's 100%. We are going to play the clip in full.
I think this is another area where Democrats really need to get serious about talking about what this threat is. I think you said it really well, Joe, a minute ago, where you talked about the need to stop being surprised by all of this and start taking it seriously. You know, it's really concerning to me that the Democrats haven't just gone ahead at this point and said we're doing this on our own in terms of getting a commission together to explain to the American people how we allowed the insurrection to take place in the Capitol. I think that really needs to move forward swiftly. You know, the reality is here that we have a large percentage of the American population. I don't know how big it is, but we have tens of millions of Trump voters who continue to believe that their rights as citizens are under threat by simple virtue of having to share the democracy with others. I think as long as they see Americanness as the same as one with whiteness, this is going to continue. We have to figure out how to get every American a place at the table in this democracy, but how to separate Americanness, America, from whiteness. Until we can confront that and talk about that, this is really going to continue. I was on Long Island this weekend visiting a really dear friend, and I was really disturbed. I saw, dozens and dozens of pickup trucks with, explicatives against Joe Biden on the back of them, Trump flags, and some cases just dozens of American flags, which is also just disturbing, because essentially the message was clear. It was, this is my country. This is not your country. I own this. And so until we're ready to have that conversation, this is going to continue. What really is concerning to me as well is it's not just Democrats in Congress. I think there's a large percentage of Americans, even some of my colleagues in journalism, who are invested in some way in pretending that this isn't the threat that it is. That is the real concern, because, the Trump voters who are not going to get on board with democracy, they're a minority. You can marginalize them long term. But if we don't take the threat seriously, then I think we're all in really bad shape.
Totally agree. Mara Gay and Tom Nichols, thank you.
Oh, they got bitch tits Tom Nichols.
Yeah, bitch tits was right there. But I have a question for Mara Gay.
Move to the side a little bit. There we go. Sorry, we can't block our camera. Good.
Habibi.
Good boy.
Habibi.
Okay.
Sorry, but I have a question. How many flags do you have, Mara Gay?
What do you mean?
How many flags does she proudly flow for the United States? Does she have a United States flag? Does she have one anywhere? Does she have one in her house? Does she have a picture of one? Does she have a sticker? Anything to showcase that she's actually proud to be American or not? Because she wants to complain and whine about other people having these flags that they are proud to be American or proud to have or showcase or even put on their trucks and stuff like that. doesn't mean that they are some sort of white supremacists who want to keep the country for themselves. It's the mere act of being proud of your country that they find to be a threat to them.
Hold on, before we continue, 69 minutes. 69 minutes of the 69th episode. Get in here. My God, already. It's okay, bud. It's okay. We can just start off that.
Did we scare him?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. They're there. Essentially 100% scared the shit out of them. All right.
Sorry. Was trying to 69 for the 69th minute on the 69th episode.
Okay, so look, there are a couple things here. I think for one, it's a very defeatist mentality to have that all of a sudden, because you see an American flag donned by someone who doesn't share your politics, that all of a sudden they're championing white supremacy and they're telling you that this is their country and you need to go back to whatever country you came from. Like, I'm pretty sure Mara Gay was born in the United States. Even if she wasn't, there is a mentality here in this country that even if you came to this country as an immigrant and you want to be a part of this society, that you are an American.
Right.
You don't get that anywhere else. We were literally talking earlier about Japan.
Yeah.
And how, like, literally, there's no such thing as being like
black
Japanese or being an Arab Japanese or being, European Japanese. No, it's only Japanese, and that's it. Like, you don't get that. You get that in America. You might get that in Canada, but you really don't get that anywhere else.
No, not even in France, not in Germany. Yeah. You hear you are Japanese American, Indian American, Mexican American, Arab American. You are what you are first and foremost, and America comes second, because America is so inclusive and is so welcoming and is so wanting to bring more people in that it is its second identity to who you are, because that's how inclusive they are. Anyone can be American, and from Indian to
what's wild
yellow.
Is that, like, literally people do not care about where you come from. Mm-hmm. If they share the same values as you, you're welcome.
Yeah,
you're accepted. Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, literally politics are the most divisive thing in this country. And I don't know if it's ever been like this anywhere else, but, like, you can have someone who is, they might be from the most, far corner of the world. But if they think that, like, America is the greatest country on earth and that, we should maintain our sovereignty and that we should fight back against, like, the Chinese, you actually will find a very welcome corner within many Trump circles. And they don't care what you look like. They care about ideology more than they care about skin color and who you pray to, which is very fascinating, because, like, that is what originally used to be. And I say this knowing that even if people, and this isn't everyone, because some people, even if they have differing politics, will still be welcome in some of those circles, because I don't think there are a lot of Trump supporters who simply do not get the benefit of the doubt to behave anything but the nicest to other people who even disagree with them. There's some who are straight up racist and will definitely tell them to go back to the country, but that's not everyone.
No, but there's
and
also,
you definitely get those people on the left, but it's obviously
tokens.
Yeah, but you obviously get, like, those types of people who are welcoming and are accepting of other people despite what they may believe or what politics they have. They're like the silent majority. You just don't see them. You see them in, throughout the country, but they're not the ones who are on TV. They're not the ones who are on podcasts. They're not the ones who are on radio. They're simply the ones who are the most extreme are the ones who get the platform and they have the biggest bullhorn.
Right.
And that's unfortunate.
It is, but it's also, like, it plays on, like, what you're saying, that they don't get the benefit of the doubt. And one of the biggest stories that happened like that was, like, even a smirk, even a kid smirking would demonize the kid enough.
Are you talking about, like, the
Covenant kid?
Yes. Catholic.
Into thinking that they're complete white supremacists. So, like, is smirking now scary? Is smirking like you're not allowed to do? So that's my point. Like,
and I got that story. And look, I got that thing wrong too. I think a lot of us got it wrong. I think you got it wrong. I think I got it wrong.
I didn't get it wrong. I didn't get it wrong. Oh no, I didn't, because I was at the very beginning. I was like, at first I was like, this is a kid. Like, we'll see what's going on with it and stuff. And then it slowly unraveled to more and more. And then I was also like saying to what's his name, who was saying like, oh, don't you just want to punch his face? What's his name?
Oh, Reza Aslan
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was
I will say
really...
this though, and this is I don't know if I said this before, but like maybe I did say it with Mary Gay. It's a very defeatist mentality to say that like just because someone has an American flag on their pickup truck, that it's their country, and that there's no possible way that you can even make it your own country as well. I will say this though,
but that's not a conversation she's ready to have.
Maybe she's not.
That's not a conversation you're ready to have.
Maybe she's not ready to have it. I know there are a lot of there are many non-white people and a lot of Black Americans who feel that the American flag is a symbol of white supremacy and racism.
Yeah.
And look, I will hear the argument. Where I disagree is that there is nothing stopping besides maybe some elements within our society that are specifically out to keep them down.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way that society has gone now is that there are less barriers for people of color, non-white people, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans. There are less barriers now to reach levels of success that were not previously seen in previous generations.
Right.
And there are very few elements now that are standing in the way of making it so that it's their country as well as my country and your country. And I hate this term of saying like, this is my country. Like, it is a country. We are all part of it. This is our society. This is something we all share together. Why can't we all share it together?
We can.
Why can't we be parts? Why can't we be contributing members to society, contributing members to the American fabric and the American experiment, and just make this whole thing work? It boggles my mind that there's some people who simply look at this only through the prism of division and only see it as like, we got to take our country back, or these people stole our country, we got to get it back. That is a warlike mentality, and I refuse to take part in that, because that is only gonna lead to more division.
Absolutely. This is my country though. You all are going to fucking become Muslim and follow the caliphate. And in the cold open, you guys don't understand. You all are Muslim now.
That's true. They all convert to Islam.
That's it. So that's what it is right now. But it's so sad, because at the end of the day, she wants to claim that those people are the way that they are. But at the end of the day, does she have an American flag? Is she proud of this country? Is she happy to be an American?
Well, it's also interesting, because Kamala Harris was asked the other month,
is America racist?
Is America a racist country? And she had to say no.
Right, because
if Trump were in office, she'd have to say yes.
Right,
because
and that's the way that they're.
Because if the country was racist, still, to her, it would completely undermine. It would basically set a bad precedent that she and Joe Biden are leaders of a racist country.
Yeah,
it just contradicts what they're trying to do. So it's just a weird dynamic, and
it's sad.
I bemoan and
you bemoaning tonight.
I bemoaning tonight. We know that, but I bemoan a lot of these cable news pundits who simply only get on TV to inject invective rhetoric into our public discourse and poison the well and make it sound like there's no hope for this country. Look, we're not in great shape, but we are better than where we were than I think either of us were, growing up.
Right. I think so too. And it's amazing how fast this country progresses in some aspects. But I think it's some aspects of this needs to have the brakes turned on, and one of them is being unraveled more and more into a hate of their own country and wishing and hoping for the demise of it. And I think these institutions like journalism, education are filled with these people, and we need to have a purge.
Yeah.
And if anyone's ready, I actually have Arabic Islamic knife.
Wait, hold on. Bart the Tree Guy says stream is a bust unless we get 69. Does that mean like we have to 69 right this second?
I mean, we can.
All right, I'll lay down.
Okay. So
you get up top.
Okay, I can actually. Okay, hold on.
Hold on 1 second.
Are you ready?
Hold on.
Okay,
Let's go. Let's go. How was that? Was that okay?
That was a nice little 69.
Ernie, you okay? There we go. All right, moving on. So did you see what happened this past week with Abuela? What do we get? What's going on? What happened? I told you Siraj was always
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Yeah, this is Pride Month. Yep. Wave that pride flag. You know, do you think anybody gets triggered when they see a pride flag anymore?
I think there are certain people that now like roll their eyes and can continue with their day. I don't know if they actually get like completely fucking triggered over it. There are people who scoff and laugh at like if
they're not, like if the
that
person
do it.
like if the person flying the flag is not gay, they're simply an ally. Would you roll your eyes? Like
I'll go and spit in their face and slap them.
The Faye must have said something that
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Oh, we got some comments. Man, I really hope. Yeah, people got the screenshots already.
Oh, we know they did. Prison Mitch and fucking Cox
And my wife
and
left
Fuzzy
me.
are already like ready to make something happen.
So that happened.
That happened. We did pretty good.
We did pretty
Yeah.
good. You know, next thing you know, we're making out, and that's Pride Month is complete. Continuing on. Do you see what happened with AOC's abuela? This is sad. Sad, really.
I can't help but laugh at it.
Why? That's racist, Jay.
I'm racist.
You are racist.
No, I'm not racist.
We know that. Don't cover her.
I'm sorry.
Get away. Anyways, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted just over a week ago, my abuela fell ill. Abuela, of course, means grandmother if you're racist and don't know what abuela means.
Like that.
I went to Puerto Rico to see her, my first time in a year plus because of COVID. This is her home. Hurricane Maria relief hasn't arrived. Trump blocked relief money for Puerto Rico. People are being forced to flee ancestral homes, and developers are taking them. You know, President Biden has been in office for about 6 months now.
Right.
How is it possible that this is still happening? We're blaming Trump for it.
Well, because it's never going to stop, and the media is going to completely let them get away with it.
So another thing,
I mean, from week one, when Trump tried to blame Obama for anything, the media was right there to jump on him. Right there, jump on him and write it.
So one of the things I have to point out here is that if you are letting your grandmother live in those conditions while you're living comfortably in DC, I'm probably not the first one to say this. You're probably not the greatest granddaughter, but I digress. I don't want to judge. I don't want to say that AOC is a shit granddaughter when there are reasonable allegations that she bought a Tesla for a lease.
Right.
And she has more than one apartment. I mean, at that juncture, wouldn't it be feasible to say, hey, grandma, come fucking live with me. This hurricane was in 2017. You're not living in such dire straits. Of course, she ended up living somewhere else, and that's not actually where she lives. But
really? So AOC was lying the whole time? Oh my God.
Maybe she was lying. I don't know. She said in the subsequent tweet that she is obviously not living there. And she like says in a subsequent tweet, shit you not. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I want to be clear. While Trump admin had a major role, it wasn't just them. La Junta, local policies, etc., are all on the same page. Policies that pushed out local families. To turn this around, we need audits and get recovery relief to people ASAP without the onerous strings. Well, why didn't you fucking say that in the first place? And then she goes on to say, and for the record, my abuela is doing okay. It's not about us, but what about what's happening to the Puerto Ricans across the island? She had a place to go and be careful. What about the thousands of people who don't? Why the fuck would you tweet that then? It's so the dumb. Stupid. It's literally the dumbest fucking thing I have seen her tweet in quite some time, and this is really, this is one of those things where, like, Jay, and you wanna be sympathetic, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, you want to, these are humans, these are people who, they have the same aims and goals as you and I. They just want to like live their lives, eat ass and live life, and pet earn, and they can't even. They just cannot. They can't tweet for the life of them.
They can't. But the funniest thing that came out of this though was honestly, look, I'm no Matt Walsh fan. Everybody knows this.
Oh, Matt Walsh, yeah.
I think he's garbage. But what he did was fucking hilarious. It was so good, and they raised almost over $100,000.
Yeah, over $100,000.
Over $100,000, and sent it to her, and they didn't accept it. Of course. Yeah, but it was not accepting that kind of money. Great troll.
Imagine the type of inroads that they could have been built, the bridges that could have been built, right? By simply accepting that money, and the kindness of strangers. They literally chalk it up to right-wing trolling.
And why?
And while it may have been a troll, and a good one at that,
was.
And literally, they talk about, that saying, you kill people with kindness. Like, that literally kills people with kindness.
It did.
Think of how many, it left bodies in their wake.
And the thing is, people who donated absolutely fucking hates AOC's guts. They absolutely hate,
but they donated because they wanted to, there is such a thing as, like, wanting to prove people wrong and doing the right thing. Like, it is a nice, noble gesture to try to help her situation out, because you either want to stick it to AOC, and maybe maybe that's some people's purpose. That's not everyone's purpose, though. It's not everyone's intent.
100%.
Essentially.
And also, why did the Trump admin stop giving money to that to Puerto Rico? Why was
it because their government was corrupt as well?
Was it really?
Was it because of all of the water bottles that were? Was it because of all the water bottles that were hanging out on the tarmac that were basically rotting and laying waste?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And why did she leave that out? Wow, that's some really good context. Not to leave the fuck out.
Yeah,
bitch.
Yeah. Really, quite disappointing. Anyways, so we actually, there's a lot of, we have to revisit this because it's, our favorite person in the entire world.
Absolutely.
Dr. Anthony Fauci.
I got the Fauci ouchie.
Yeah, I got a text in the family group chat this past weekend. I think it was one of my family members sent a photo of them holding the sticker, I got my Fauci ouchie, and I wanted to throw my phone into the toilet. Given what I know, I was about to start World War III by simply texting one of the emails saying Fauci is a fraud. But I didn't, because
he should have just been like, and Jay enters the chat. Jay, please.
Jay enters the chat. So Fauci went on Meet the Press on MSNBC, Meet the Press Daily with Chuck Todd, and this is what he had to say.
Now you're at the focal point. What is your level of concern that we're going to discredit public health officials to the point of, look at Russia. They actually have a good vaccine, and none of their citizens will take it because they don't trust their own government.
Right. It's very dangerous, Chuck, because a lot of what you're seeing as attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science, because all of the things that I have spoken about consistently from the very beginning have been fundamentally based on science. Sometimes those things were inconvenient truths for people, and there was pushback against me. So if you are trying to, get at me as a public health official and a scientist, you're really attacking not only Dr. Anthony Fauci, you're attacking science. And anybody that looks at what's going on clearly sees that. You have to be asleep not to see that. That is what's going on. Science and the truth are being attacked.
So really, any attack on me, Jay,
is
attack on the vaccine song.
I got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people, let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox, back in the days. Measles and mumps, man, back in the days. But because of the vaccines, none of those saved. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now, no need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late, for real.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Guys, yeah. So any attack on Fauci is really an attack on,
and any attack on me is an attack on your mom.
And ass eating.
Well, ass eating,
yeah,
for sure.
Any attack on you is obviously an attack on ass eating.
Absolutely.
But yes. Anyways, Jay, Fauci emails were only like revealed last week. And nobody's fucking talking about them.
No, you had Nicole Wallace, right? That's her name, Nicole Wallace. You're so like giving us like what's gonna happen if we see your personal emails, Nicole? Like, are we gonna see you like elephant dick? What the fuck are we gonna see? I don't understand. Like, to say like, oh, you were so graceful in your personal emails. They were not his personal emails. They were his work emails, weren't they? There was work emails.
There were work emails, yeah.
So it's not really his fucking personal emails, you stupid bitch, first of all. And secondly, the way that they have damage control over a bureaucrat like this is mind-boggling to me. Yeah. Like, you are a journalist. You are wanting, like, you should be salivating and wanting to see this fucking stuff, because this is news. This is insane. This is stuff that nobody else was able to see before, that's shedding light on new information on the way things have been run and the thought process of Fauci. And for you to like cover it in this manner, and the same thing with whoever he was, who was he with just now?
Chuck Todd.
Chuck Todd, another MSNBC bullshit dick sucker for Biden admin officials. Like, it's so funny. And for him to come out and say attacking me or criticizing me as criticizing science is fucking horrifying, because you cannot attach something like science to these administrators and to these politicians and to these bureaucrats. They don't have the public interest at heart. They never did. If they did, we wouldn't see as many fucking restaurants and small businesses and people closing. We wouldn't have seen high rates of depression and people using fentanyl and getting on drugs and even kids under the age of 12. The suicide rates of children at the age of 10 and 14 are fucking insane. So if you really did give a shit, and if you really cared about the science, this is the stuff that you would be caring about, not whether or not people are attacking you for your stupid emails where you were found out to be a fucking bitch.
So interestingly enough, and again, we were talking about sort of like the extremes of this entire debate. Everything is like one way or another. You know, you have arguments for and against, but it's always the radicals, the extremists who have the biggest, you know, megaphone, the biggest bullhorn, the biggest platform. And so in Ohio, there is a bill that is currently being debated about prohibiting any Ohio business and school from mandating the vaccine. And they have a doctor, Sherry Tenpenny, that she testified just this week about vaccines. And I shit you not, I'm going to play some excerpts from what she said. And just to give you an idea of how batshit these arguments are, there's a right way of doing things, and then there's this way of doing things.
Thinking, if you can think of any other product in any other industry that has killed more than 5,000 people stated in the VAERS database, and even if only half of those are true, 2,500 deaths in 6 months of use, and it's still full court press, full steam ahead. So it makes one have to wonder why. Why are we still doing this? Why are we putting people into nursing homes like that happened in New York and put people with known COVID into place?
So we have, that's part one. Let's go to part two real quick.
And some of the information that I think had been discussed on your podcast related to EMF frequencies.
That was a thought.
And
it was, because right now we're all kind of hypothesizing. I mean, what is it that's actually being transmitted that's causing all of these things? Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that. There's been people who've long suspected that there was some sort of an interface, yet to be defined, an interface between what's being injected in these shots and all of the 5G towers. Not proven yet, but we're trying to figure out what is it that's being transmitted to these unvaccinated people.
Look, it's magnetized. I got my third vaccine, and now I can transmit 5G.
You're not supposed to get the vaccine in your anus, Jay.
My head is not my anus.
Really? Because you've been eating ass too much for me. It's too. Anyways, here's part three.
Hiya, Pfizer.
Hi, Ben.
You got any extra shots?
Sure, Ben.
Sleeves up.
I'm a Pfizer girl in a COVID world. I'm the classic, mRNA-tastic, 95%. There's no argument. Got no contagion with my vaccination.
Come on, Pfizer, let's go party.
With a mask on.
Come on, Pfizer, let's go travel.
Only if essential. Oh, we're having so much fun.
We'll have to do this again for my second shot.
Oh, I love you, Ben.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Oh, there you go.
Here's number three.
For the record, if I missed it here or there, of the 5.5 million Ohioans who have gotten the COVID-19 shot through today over the last 6 months, how many do you believe have been killed by that shot?
Well, I guess I could just talk to you, right? So, I don't know.
Okay, there's a right way of doing things, and then there's this way of doing things. I'm not talking obviously about the Pfizer girl, but Sherry Tenpenny just going off on the fucking vendor real quick and saying that the vaccine causes people to be magnetized. Look, just say it is you just don't want to get the vaccine because it's your right to it's your body, your choice. Like, why can't they make that fucking argument? Okay.
Right.
Like, and again, get the vaccine if you want to get the vaccine. I don't give a shit. If you don't get the vaccine, so what? Who gives a shit? Like, this whole argument about like wearing masks when you're vaccinated. Like, there's some states, I know, Jay, you're telling me in California, they're still wearing masks if you're vaccinated.
Yeah,
like,
everywhere.
I have, besides in the airport and on an airplane where I've had to wear a mask because they still mandate it, which is garbage. The only time I've ever had to wear a mask in the last month is in, besides the airport, is in the Apple store. I've never worn a mask anywhere in the last month.
Yeah, I mean, coming here was insane because it's like everything's like if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. Wear a mask if it makes you feel safe is basically the message. And that's totally fine. Wear the mask if it makes you feel safe. But there's no need for it anymore. Honestly, there's more than enough people getting vaccinated. I'm vaccinated, so I don't give a fuck if you're vaccinated or not. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'll still eat your ass.
Yeah, well, you'll eat mine.
You're vaccinated though.
That's but if you only
if you weren't vaccinated,
you would still.
Yeah, I would still. But you're
Damn it.
vaccinated now.
Fuck.
That's what happens.
Man, I really shouldn't have gotten vaccinated. God damn it. Well, all right. Well, at least we could still drink to being vaccinated, I guess. Anyways, a couple more stories before we open it up to the floor. Jay, did you see that El Salvador became the first country in the world to approve Bitcoin as their legal currency?
Hell yeah!
How fucking based is that?
I don't. And also, I didn't know you were the president of El Salvador.
Holy shit, I am. Look at this. Let me pull this up. Fuck. Look at this.
It's true what they say. All brown people look alike.
Wow. I really am. Wow, you could like tell.
It's insane.
I really am the president of El Salvador.
It's fucking crazy.
Do you think if he takes off his pants, he also doesn't have a penis either?
Look, you have a penis. We found it last night after like 69 hours of searching.
Nice.
But
it took time, but we found it. Anyways. So El Salvador became the first country to make Bitcoin a legal tender. And the president, Nayib, and this sounds actually very Arab. Nayib?
Yeah,
Nayib.
that is.
Nayib Bukele. He had made good on his promise to Bukaki? He made good on his promise to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Officials in the Central American country's Congress voted to accept the cryptocurrency by a majority of 62 out of 84 votes, reports CNBC. And the worldwide first, El Salvador will accept Bitcoin as legal tender alongside the US dollar in 90 days. The law effectively means the cryptocurrency can be used as payment for goods or services unless a business cannot provide the tech required to facilitate the transaction. Now, Jay, if El Salvador had done this like a decade ago when Bitcoin was like less than like $10 a coin, how wealthy do you think they would have been by now?
Oh, I know, that would be insane.
I feel like at this point it's almost too little, too late. Like they're going to be holding bags from like all the Bitcoin that's going to
right, and especially after the talks of regulation coming from other countries and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, they should have.
Done this sooner.
I know they should have, but it's really, really nice to see more support for Bitcoin, no matter how late in the game it might be. But hopefully, we'll see crypto being more utilized and stuff, because it's utilized in a lot of different countries that are impoverished, that can't really hold the dollar as.
And
as
there's nothing more like. Honestly, in terms of like decentralized currency, there is nothing more liberating than using something that like is made by the people and it's for the people.
Right.
And I'm surprised that there aren't more people who are currently into crypto, because obviously right now there's still a lack of regulation surrounding it. But in terms of like ways to hold onto money that isn't always manipulated by countries to specifically, like inflation rates and stuff like that, you are basically in charge of your own currency. And I'm hoping that more and more countries adopt that shit.
Inshallah.
Anyways, our final story of the evening is that there's actually a follow-up on the Gaza building that had the AP offices in it. The Jerusalem Post reports that Hamas worked on the device to disrupt the Iron Dome missile defense system in the same Gaza building that housed the Associated Press. It was bombed by Israel during Operation Guardian of the Walls. Ambassador to the UN and U.S. Gilad Erdogan said Monday night. He relayed the information in coordination with the IDF to AP CEO Gary Pruitt and the news agency's vice president for foreign news, Ian Phillips, in New York. Hamas had intelligence and technological research and development offices in the building Israel struck last month, Erdogan said. Israel gave advance warning for the strike and no one was killed. The target was of utmost importance, in quotes, because of the work on an electronic system to disrupt the Iron Dome system that saved millions of Israelis from more than 4,000 rockets launched from Gaza by terrorist groups. The site was used by Hamas terrorist organization for intelligence R&D and to carry out SIGINT, which is signals intelligence, ELINT, electronic signals intelligence, and EW, electronic warfare operations, targeting both IDF operational activity and civilian systems in Israel, according to the IDF. Now, Jay, of course, there's a lot of other things going on in Israel with their political stability, and it's looking like Bibi Netanyahu is going to be ousted almost certainly. But this is actually a pretty huge development. I feel like it's gone under the radar.
Right. It just showcases that AP journalists are terrorists and they are part of the Hamas R&D program
curious,
and making intelligence to go against the Iron Dome.
I am very curious now to understand what the AP knew and when it knew it.
And when they knew it.
If they didn't know anything, that's for one, it's bullshit. The reporters, they're like absolutely paid to know this shit. And secondly, if they had offices in that building with Hamas, was there any effort to try to get out of there?
No. And there isn't. They bow to things like Gaza and stuff like that, and they turn a blind eye so they can have access into Gaza. And the funny thing is, they have access in Gaza, and what do? They promote propaganda against Israel. They push lies and fucking total falsehoods against Israel. And while they're working side by side with Ahmed the terrorist, it's fucking insane.
Whoa. Are you talking about yourself?
No, Ahmed, the other Ahmed.
Oh, okay.
Alhamdulillah. And it goes again, like their victimhood story is a bunch of bullshit. And journalists are the biggest fucking pretenders of being victims.
Well, as a journalist myself, yes, I every day I go on Twitter and tell the people that every single attack on me is literally an act of Islamophobia, and I will not stand for it. So there is a case to be made about that. So you are right, and I will not deny it. And in fact, I'm proud of it. It is Pride Month after all.
MashaAllah. Be proud.
Be proud. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of being attacked. This is the way.
This is the way.
Wallahi, this is the way. Anyways, Habibis, before we go, we got our favorite segment, and you really have a chance to literally ask us anything. So Habibis, go ahead. Ask us what's on your mind. Of course, we've had Ern on this entire show. He's just been chilling. He actually does really well in this red chair. And I figure maybe from now on, we'll always have him sitting in his chair because he really does better in this than in my lap.
It's Ern's chair. Look at him. He's falling asleep. Habibi.
He's been asleep. So go ahead.
He was yelling at me for the first couple of days, like, where the fuck have you been? You haven't reported in like 37 days.
Damon says, all I want to know is got room for a third. Which one? In my butt?
In my mouth?
Or in your mouth? Butt or mouth?
Well, we can
Please
find out.
specify.
I mean, you can come over and we can find out.
Yeah, we can find out. Anthony says, Siraj Jay, what's it like to finally be together? I know long distance relationships can be tough. That is true.
It is.
I will say it's been very refreshing because instead of texting each other all the time, I can literally say, yo, bitch, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, and I just feel like, you know what? That's actually kind of gay.
Yeah, so it works. It has its upsides and downsides. So.
Yes, and also on my way
since
here,
since it's 69, the 69th episode, literally upsides and downsides.
Absolutely. And on my way here, I came in his car like 4 times as he drove me over here.
It was
it's been
if I didn't need a car wash then, I definitely need a car wash now.
Or you can keep it. The smells nice.
So what else we got? Hold on. Jordan Lethal says, when your wife leaves you, is that an attack on journalism?
That's freedom for women.
Yes. Habibis Prime says, you two are appropriating black culture by wearing those do-rags on your head. These are actually not do-rags. These are topis. These are actually part of Pakistani culture.
And Islamic culture.
So do-rags are a completely different concept. These are topis. These are literally little prayer hats. So,
fuck you.
Go fuck yourself, Habib Prime. Love you. Bartree guy says, hot tub stream when? We do have a hot tub.
We do have a hot tub.
We do have a hot tub. There's something that can work there. How gay do we want to be, Jay? It is Pride Month.
It is. I mean, and I do have my my very short swim shorts. I actually do have very short swim shorts in my bag right now. So
maybe. Aesop 3069 nice says, did you see the Yashara article? It was pretty rough. Yes, we did. We read it both. We have not yet talked to Yashar about it, so we will reserve judgment to hear his side. You know, our hope, in all honesty, is to get Yashar onto Habibi Power Hour, and maybe he could talk about it on the record. Obviously, we've always had an open invite for Yashar, and we hope he talks to us. I mean, we've always seen him as a friend, and we honestly, we just want the best for him, and we understand that, you know, the media doesn't always get it right. We want to know what he's going through, and if he's going through some shit, we want to be there for him. And, you know, he's been through, in the last week itself, he was talking about, you know, he had these suicidal ideations and not wanting to wake up. And, you know, we were legitimately worried for him. We understood that he obviously needed his space, and he, you know, we tried to be there for him, and be an ear for him or a sounding board. But we also know that we're not the only ones who are like wanting him to be well and succeed. So, I'm hoping that he you know, talks with us, at least on if not on the podcast, at least offline, and maybe we get a better picture of what's going on. And you know, we've been friends with the guy for the last few years. I mean, it's not like we, you know, wish ill on him.
No,
we only want the best for him. So we hope Yashar is doing well. It's just it's tough to see someone go through that. And I mean, like, I've had my own issues, not with him, but like obviously with depression and anxiety, and, you know, people have tried to come after me, they've tried to come after my family, and it's not fun. It really isn't. So it's just, you know, it's one of the sides of the industry that you just got to deal with. So Rico Roca says Siraj looked like Old Dirty Bastard's failed rapper brother, Old Dirty Habibi. Chris Kennedy says, where's my Habibi Bros hoodie? When did you order it? And if you ordered it through Patreon, orders officially closed June 20th through Bonfire.
Well, was there hoodies on Bonfire?
Yeah, there are hoodies on Bonfire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There are like a bunch of different things that you can order on.
And when is it going to be shipped out?
It'll be shipped out after June 20th.
So that's when you're going to be expecting it.
Anang, who was actually here earlier and actually got some great photos of us. Thank you, Anang.
Thank you,
says,
Anang.
how many bourbons is Jay on?
Anang was here when this was full.
Yes.
So that's a pretty good answer.
Ram Habibi, how you doing? Says, how has Baba been reacting to Jay's ass eating antics? I will say we have not really brought up the ass eating, but we have brought up all the other antics.
Most of the other antics, like
I will
show
say,
and stuff.
You know,
like that.
so we got dinner the other night. It was the meeting of the parents to bless this union during Pride Month, and then we actually had a great time. We found out that both of our parents knew people. Knew like we had like mutual friends, like one person in particular, the imam of the Oklahoma City Mosque, Imad and Chasi, a Palestinian brother who I would say like he's in his 50s, maybe in his early 60s,
maybe
now.
early 60s now.
Yeah, one of the nicest people we've ever known. Great family friends.
Actually officiated his brother's wedding.
Officiated my brother's wedding.
And they wanted him to officiate my mom's wedding with her husband, but unfortunately he was overseas. But that's what's so mind-boggling.
Yeah,
so
is that like he's that close with both of our families that we have that kind of tie.
And they never met each other. Like my mom's never met, or my dad has never met their fampe either. So it's
until this week.
Yeah.
So it's kind of small world. It's really dope. And it was so nice to meet Mary finally. Your mom is just a gem. Such a nice lady, and I'm so glad she's in this area because now like our parents can be biffles. I can like come and hang out with your mom more than you.
No shit.
I could do a Habibi Power Hour from your mom's basement. So it's all fun. It's a lot of fun, and really glad we finally met. I will say this: Twitter is. Twitter people might think Twitter's a cesspool. I think it's the greatest website ever because honestly, like I have made so many friends through this website. I've met you, through Twitter, I've met so many people on that website, truly just through like shit posting or tweeting about politics or memes. And like it's just open worlds. And I'm just like very grateful for like everything that's happened through that. And while I'm still broke and living with my in-laws, you know, things are still good. You know, it's like it's a very good thing.
No, it is. And meeting the Habibis and actually creating this whole thing, it's been amazing, and I can't wait to meet some of you guys.
You know, after this episode, you know, so we got a couple of events this coming week for Habibi Week. We got Thursday and Friday night. It's going to be turned. But after this week, like it's literally straight to the moon. Habibi Bros to the moon. Like we got so many ideas that we want to implement.
We're going. We're getting in on this plane, flying straight into a building, and that building is success.
Ern will not be on that building purely out of his own safety, but he will be the air traffic controller. David says butter mouth. Yes. Eric Halverson says, is Jay having In-N-Out with draws yet?
No, not at all, because In-N-Out is overrated as fuck. And the thing is, here on the East Coast, like Mediterranean food, like shawarma and stuff like that, is so much better than over in California.
It's pretty good.
It's not even.
And we went to a Uyghur.
So good.
We went to a Uyghur restaurant the other night.
Yeah,
that was really good.
That was absolutely.
Faye Bibi says, Siraj and Jay, will you promise to continue entertaining us for at least 69 more episodes? Inshallah.
Inshallah, and even more.
And even more. In fact, when we have our 69 times 2 episode, we'll make sure it's double the nice.
Yeah.
I think that will be grounds for another in-person event. And inshallah, hopefully it's me going out to the West Coast.
That would be great.
Or you coming to Florida. One
or the other. No, we can also do it in Florida. That sounds good too.
I mean, I hate to make you travel all the time.
It's all good.
I mean, you going on.
I like going on planes.
Yeah, you do
I like rolling the dice.
You like going on planes. Did you play Tummy Sticks?
What's Tummy Sticks? I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna move on. Prison Mitch. Prison Mitch. That is almost too invasive. Abe Exxon says, it's Alex Jones go transgender. I actually don't know. Maybe. Are y'all into polygamy? Says Rana Salam. We are not, although Ern is. Ern doesn't actually discriminate against anyone. So if you are down, so is he. Big Ray says, how much Alex Jones frog water have you two been drinking?
A lot.
Quite a bit. So let's see here. What's the date and time for HabibiCon? So we got HabibiCon Friday night. That is going to be June 11th. And we are going to meet at a bar in Alexandria called Virtue Feed and Grain. And we're gonna get a table. Just gonna post up there and just bar hop from there. So
any Habibis
in the DC area, come on by, hit us up on the Discord, let us know, DM us, DM me or Jay or text us if you got our numbers. Just let us know if you're coming through, because we'd love to meet as many of y'all as possible. I know it's difficult for everyone to make the trip,
right?
Which is why this is the first, in the first time this is ever happening. We understand it's not feasible for everyone, right? But we hope to.
But if you miss the second one, you're going to hell.
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So, when is HabibiCon in Orlando? Inshallah soon. Robert Jeffer, demigods only, says BP. Robert Jeffer says, as bad as Siraj is with tech, do you really want to risk electricity and water?
Right. I think that's what he meant by demigods only, that they're the ones who only get the luxury of watching the hot tub stream.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly what it is.
Harkira says, Siraj, you look like Hunter Biden when you remove the topi. Oh shit.
That's funny about what's funny about Siraj is that he can look like a white guy or a brown guy.
It's true. I can look like both, Bean Dude, Nate Beebe says, is Mary or Bubba in the other room? Invite them in. They are not
They're
in the other
not.
room.
I wish they were.
But Ernie
inshallah,
is here. But Ernie
yes.
What a buddy.
What a buddy.
He's so soft.
We should have an episode of with my mom on here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Prism says, why has Bubba not run in and thrown a shoe at you all yet? I'm hoping he does soon. You know, I actually, when we were hanging out with him the other night, there might be a part of him that wants to be part of the stream.
There might be, and we could do one where it's the
Halal.
the most halal version of this that we could ever do.
I will tell you this, Jay. There has never been any other time I've told him more about the show than when I did when we all hung out together.
Right. That's what
I never told him anything about the show until we were like, you know, we started doing these cold opens, in which one of them was like about, you know, the prince,
yeah, the
Princess Khadija. Like, he lost his shit when that happened.
Right.
And then, what was the other one where he was really like, when with having your mom on Twitter, this is what he thought was really funny. Was when your mom was dunking on you and you responded to her saying, "But Mom, my friends are around."
Oh yeah, this is with Branson Taylor, like when she was first getting on, and she would dunk on me like regularly. And as she does that, like my continuous thing is like, "Mom, my friends,
my friends are on here.
You're not making me look cool."
Yeah. Hobby says, why doesn't Aaron have his presidential treats? He gets them afterwards.
Right. He's been doing good.
Yeah.
Like he's looking.
He's a little
good.
trooper.
And he really looks like a loaf.
Johnny Blade says, this is supposed to be a very special episode, and Jay didn't wear the skimpy bathing suit. SMH.
Oh, I'm sorry, Blade, but that's going to be for demigods, which you can subscribe on Patreon.
Inshallah. Rico Roca says, Siraj, RIP Bruins season, pain. Fortunately, I am not a Bruins fan. I've always been a Hartford Whalers fan. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, sorry.
I've always been a Hartford Whalers fan, which is even better because they don't exist anymore. So, be like me. Root for a team that doesn't exist anymore.
Perfect.
So, there can be no pain when
there's no play.
When they're not even playing. Khalid says, how are you sleepy when you sleep until 2 p.m. every day? Did I ever say I was sleepy?
I'm not sleepy. Look, we found out he's actually on West Coast time.
Yeah.
Because like right now, it's only 9 p.m. over in the West Coast. And I wake up every day at 5:30 in the morning. I shit you not. And being over here, I still wake up at 8:30 a.m., which is 5:30 over there. He wakes up at 11, which is 2 p.m. here, but it's 11 a.m. So he still wakes up in the morning time.
That's true.
So
technically morning.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'll wake him up again tomorrow morning.
Inshallah. God, we are getting wrecked tonight. Abe says, when is Bubba coming on? Inshallah soon. I don't know when that will be.
We'll have an episode where we have our parents on, inshallah.
Yeah. Janice says, does Bubba even have half a clue about the haram happening with you two on this visit?
No.
I don't think so. But you know what? If he finds out, he finds out.
Right.
I'm not afraid. My Bubba and I have a very close relationship, and
it's very sweet. It really is.
Like, Jay, what did he say the other night? So like my dad
dunked on him on a meme.
He dunked on me so hard. I didn't tweet this out at all. This is what he said. He said, I shit you not. He was telling me that his work partner, his colleague,
yes,
Dr. Matthew at Suburban Hospital, that he and his wife bought a place on the beach in Delaware. I was like, oh, is it Rehoboth Beach? I was like, that's the gay beach. And my dad, without even flinching, says, oh, you'll fit right in.
Yeah, it's like not even a second.
Yeah.
And also, there's this one where, what's his name? The Ant-Man guy, Ron Paul, or no, right? What's his name? Ant-Man. The guy, he was on the Wing show. So anyways,
it's what?
A meme. Ant-Man, the actor.
Oh, Paul Rudd.
So he was on this Wing show, this hot stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So the meme goes on where it's like, look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. And so I did the same thing. It's an ongoing meme between me and Siraj.
Yeah.
So I was like, who would have thought? And then Siraj is like, not me. And his dad just goes like, well, of course you don't think.
It's too good. It's too good.
Bubba's just too quick. Like, I would have paid a camera crew to be in on that because it was just like that type of comedy gold.
It's too good.
Yeah, Bubba's he's just too quick with it.
Absolute
says,
legend.
has anybody threatened you two homosexuals with a thrown off the roof treatment?
I threaten him with that
I
every
threaten
other
him
day.
every night. Yeah.
Every fucking day.
And then Ernie always says he's going to throw us off the roof. He's actually probably going to be the one who's going to
do it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? Eric Housen says, gun to your head, who is the Democratic nominee in 2024? Biden.
Kamala Harris. Biden's dead.
I'm still going with Biden, man.
He's dead in 3 more months.
Mitch says, are we getting a gay Habibi Bros Power Hour in June? Inshallah.
Well, if you come on Friday, you're going to see all the gayness.
It's going to be a pride festival in your mouth.
Absolutely.
Inshallah. Essentially 100%.
MashaAllah.
And let's see. I don't want to skip through too many of these comments because there are a lot of questions. And I apologize because you guys literally are.
And a couple of people thought I'm high. I'm not high. I don't smoke.
I mean, you will after this, but
maybe.
Inshallah. Aesop says, who's more influential, you or Ruthless? Right now, Ruthless has the edge.
Absolutely.
Because they have the following and they have the connections. Jay and I are just two random nobodies who shit post on Twitter and have only built a movement based on quality, not quantity.
Yes. And the Habibis have been nothing but quality.
And I say this
absolutely.
Like the minions are great and they are built around the central ethos of owning the libs, but the Habibis, and I say this and I say this not to take away from the minions, but the Habibis are built around culture, built around common values. We're built around the idea that we're all in this together, and even if we have differing views, we all still got love for each other.
Yep.
And I think that's something that all holds us together because, like, look, Jay, you and I don't agree eye to eye on everything,
right?
And a lot of times when I'm looking at you in the eye, you're looking at me in the anus.
Right.
And that's not always.
You like a pinky, and I say, let's go 3 fingers.
And so basically, like, we disagree all the time. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
And I think there's part of our community that's the nice aspect is that we all want what is good for each other. And we may not all have the solutions, but we all recognize that we all have intrinsic value and that we all bring something unique to the table. And that's what I love about this community. And that's what I love about you, Jay.
100%.
100%.
I love you too, Habibi.
And we love all of you, Habibis. So we've been going on for like 2+ hours. We understand that some people are trailing off and, trying to go to sleep. Jordan asks, how do your in-laws feel about you living with them even though she left? The level of accuracy with that is just so great.
It's so great. It's
because like Emily is not here this week at
No,
all.
she isn't.
She's down in Florida working, and she cursed Jay out the other day saying, "You would come this week when I'm not here."
It's so
funny, but it's also, Jay, you were witnessing like the relationship I have with my in-laws. They still got love for me.
Oh no, absolutely, and they're also great people. I mean, they're amazing. They're really, really fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see what other questions. Big Ray says, Siraj and Jay, change your mind about coming to y'all Revolution. Please come. Why no come to Revolution? Just a lot of things up in the air right now. This summer is busy as fuck. And we really want to, but like it's just not right now. It's just not in the cards at the moment. We're both in the transition of moving.
Yes,
we're both transitioning just in general. Hashtag Pride Month.
100%. I mean, we don't have dicks, so
yeah. I mean, we never had dicks to begin with, so we might as well just go all the way. But yeah. Javi says, "Did you get a Chick-fil-A?" No, we didn't get a Chick-fil-A.
No,
but we did get
Pam.
sorry, my girlfriend actually got Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's one of us.
She kept the tradition alive.
Alhamdulillah. Let's see what else we got. How did they let Jay on plane? Says relaxing party.
Honestly, I don't know. It happens from time to time. Sometimes I don't get randomly selected. This was one of the times.
I love how I posted an image of you of all the accounts that you had on Twitter through our group chat with Dusty, and almost every single one of them is that you have a knack for being randomly selected.
Oh yeah, that was my my bio for the longest time.
Man. Kathleen says, "What's the longest record on Twitter for Jay before getting banned?" I'd say it was this last account, Branson Taylor. You were there for
my first one.
You think so?
I think my first one was like 2 years.
I don't know if that counts though.
My very first account?
Yeah, that doesn't really count.
Right. Okay, I get you. Yeah, Branson Taylor and Bob Malik.
Yeah.
It's between those two. Branson Taylor and Bob Malik.
Branson Taylor, Bob Malik. Chris Kinder says, what time on Friday? We're probably around 8 p.m. I'll get more specific on the details
on Discord.
And you can come through. Obviously, like, prefer it's only Habibis, but like if you got friends that want to come through too, that's fine. I'm not going to say no. We're not going to say no.
No, bring your mom.
Yeah, bring your mom, especially your mom, right? So, let's see what other questions we got. I'm still going through it. Jay, do you see anything?
No.
No? You didn't even go through the fucking comments. Piece of shit. I'm literally going through the comments all myself. Tracy says he's not dead. Is he, Ernie?
Oh no, he's not.
He's breathing.
He's not. And Kathleen, we actually had Bruce on as a guest on what's it called? On the election night. We had him on.
Yeah, election night we had him on.
Tracy, love you too.
Woo. We got about all the media that brought us here. Got to build a caliphate somehow. That's true, actually.
That's true. And the caliphate sheikh right here.
And make sure you go ahead and sub to our YouTube channel so that we can actually do like these what's it called? Super chats. Super chats. I know I've been going on for over 2 hours now. So let's see. Habibi Bros banana hammocks when
we should do.
I actually thought about we actually literally had the idea that if we were to do a thong, we'd have your face with that
right on it. So it worked on the banana hammocks as well. Banana hammocks. Banana hammocks.
Inshallah. Let's see here. I'm so far behind on all the comments.
James. Is the purple shirt royal purple or more of a it's somewhere in between. It's more of a pale purple though than it is a royal purple, but it's pretty close to a royal purple.
Yeah. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, you have access to our exclusive merch, which is this quality of shirt. We will put this design on our Habibi Bros website, but it won't be of the same quality. So that's like the main difference.
You might not get the same purple.
Yeah, you won't get that. You might not get. It
still has a purple one. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll still put it on our Habibi Bros website, but like it's not going to be the nicer quality.
Nice.
It won't be of 69 quality. So like these just fit better. Like for some reason, like the actual sleeves, they're like tapered, and so they just fit better. It's almost like you work out and it automatically feels like a muscle shirt. But I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, Jacob says, Mujahed, why don't you make a turtle co-host? He is very handsome.
Jacob Blake. This is probably also my
your cousin,
my little brother. No, Turtle is also my little brother, and this is probably also my little brother making like random accounts.
He says, Rachel says, no question. Just want to say, happy 69. I love to you both, and don't forget to clean your tushy.
Absolutely, always clean it. Make sure to get bidets. I don't know what it is about you fucking Americans. Get bidets. Makes ass eating a lot better.
So Bart the Tree Guy says, do you have to order through the Patreon website? Technically, yes. So you
Yes.
have to be a Patreon subscriber in order to access it, but it's not specifically on Patreon. So if you sub, the only links where it's available
Is on
is
Patreon.
on Patreon. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Anthony says, "Happy Habibi week. Hope you all have a nice and great night, Habibi. Seriously glad I found you guys. Seriously
Love you,
glad to have
Habib.
you.
Love you, Anthony.
Anthony. Let's see. What? Jay speaks truth and douche. Jay, please crash Jen Yazaki's news conference tomorrow.
Oh man, I wish they had me on there. I wish that would be so much fun.
Khaled says, "Thank you for being a good sport when we dunk on you all day, dude. I love being dunked on all the time."
Oh, especially from you, Habibis.
Yeah. So, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Jay and I are absolutely hammered right now, and honestly, this isn't. I'm actually really happy this turned out the way it did.
I did too. I am too. Like
it's
been amazing.
It's been amazing. So
The whole trip has
Habibis,
been great.
we love you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Habibi Power Hour, the 69th episode.
Who would have thought?
The nicest of, not me. Nicest episode.
episode.
Ernie, thank you for being you. Thank you for being your special Loki self. And Habibis, we might not always get it right all the time, but we do our best. And I'm Siraj Hashmi, and if you should ever wonder, the jihad and Sharia are coming.
Absolutely. I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi. Oh, you got something to say?
And we're the Habibi Bros.
We'll see you next time, Habibis. Habibi Power Hour is out. Peace, y'all. Have a good night. Love y'all.